Welcome to Ingenious Accounts World. We are going to discuss about the accounting concepts today. Accounting concepts, the basic principles of accounting. What are the accounting concepts? The first one is business entity concept. Business entity concept says that business has a separate entity from its owner. That means business is separate, the owner of the business is separate, and transactions are recorded from business point of view. The personal transactions of the proprietor has no role in the books of accounts. At the same time, if his transactions has any connection with the business, that must be recorded. For example, if he is paying rent for his house or if he is buying an asset, these are all his personal transaction and no need to record that type of transaction in our books of accounts. At the same time, if he is investing money in the business or he is withdrawing money from the business, it has a connection with the business and must be recorded. And if we are mixing the personal transactions of the proprietor with the business, we will not get a clear picture of the business. Therefore, business entity concept is an important one. Now, the next one is money measurement concept. It says that accounting records only those transactions which can be expressed in money terms. For example, purchase of an asset, payment of salary, payment of rent, etc. are all in money terms and we can record all that types of transactions. But the appointment of a new manager, quarrel between two managers, and the efficiency of the human resource department, etc. are not in money terms and we cannot record that types of transactions. Okay. Now the next one is cost concept. According to cost concept, transactions are to be recorded at the actual cost. That means actual cost incurred for us. For example, we have purchased a land for rupees 10 lakh. But its market value is 12 lakh. We can record only 10 lakh rupees in our books of account because we have incurred only 10 lakh for buying that asset. That is cost concept. We can record only the actual cost incurred for us. Next one is going concern concept. It assumes that business will exist for a long period of time. It is not going to end after 1 or 2 years. Depreciation is an example for this concept. For calculating depreciation, first of all, we are assuming its expected lifetime. We are finding its lifetime. And we are writing off depreciation in each year of its lifetime. You can do that because of going concern concept. And this concept makes it possible to differentiate the expenditure into two categories. The benefit of which can be exhausted quickly, say within 1 year, and the expenditures whose benefit can be received for more than 1 year. And we can record both these types of transactions accordingly because of going concern concept. For example, if we are paying rent for March, we can get its benefit only for March. But if we are spending huge expenses on advertisement or sales promotion, we can get its benefit in the coming years also. And we can treat both of these types of expenditure differently in the books of accounts. That is going concern concept. Next one is dual aspect concept. It says that every transaction has two aspects. For example, purchase of an asset. Asset is coming in, cash is going out. Payment of salary. We are incurring an expenditure and at the same time cash is going out. Sale of an asset. Cash is coming in, that asset is going out. Likewise, all transactions has two aspects. Next one is realization or revenue recognition concept. It says that revenue should be included in the books of accounts only when it is realized. Then, what is a revenue? Revenue means all the cash inflows in the form of sales or all the cash inflows in the form of interest, dividend, royalty, etc. All these are known as revenues. And then next question. When a revenue is said to be realized. A revenue is said to be realized when a legal obligation to receive it arises. No need to receive it actually in cash. For example, credit sales for the month of March must be recorded in the month of March itself. Maybe we are receiving the cash in the next month, no matter. Likewise, interest for the month of January must be recorded in the month of January itself, even if we are receiving the cash in the next month. All the revenues should be recorded when it is realized, no matter we have received it in cash actually or not. Then, next concept is matching concept. It says that the revenues and the expenses incurred to earn that revenue must belong to the same accounting period. We have already mentioned about revenues, when a revenue to be recorded in our books of accounts. Then the next one is expenses, when an expense to be recorded in our books. All the expenses must be recorded in our books, not when it is paid, but when it is due for payment. The same way as revenues. Salary for the month of January must be recorded in the month of January itself. Maybe we are paying it in the next month. Same way, rent for the month of March must be recorded in the month of March itself, even if we are paying it in the next month. All the expenses and revenues must belong to the same accounting period. Okay, then the next one is accounting period concept. Then what is an accounting period? Accounting period is the time span at the end of which financial statements are prepared. Then financial statements are to be prepared every accounting year, not frequently or not alternative year. We must prepare it every accounting year as per the accounting period concept. Then next one is objectivity concept. It says that transactions must be recorded in an objective manner. So, all the transactions must be supported by valid evidences. What are the evidences? Bills, vouchers, receipts, etc. All the transactions must be supported by valid evidence. Without evidence, we cannot record anything. That is objectivity concept. These are all about the accounting concepts. Okay. If you found this video helpful, please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching. Thank you.